Archangel Michael has an urgent message for you today about something deeply concerning. You've been feeling like someone knows your private struggles and secrets. That uncomfortable feeling of being watched or observed isn't just paranoia or your imagination playing tricks on you. Certain spiritual entities have been studying your life, watching your patterns, and documenting your weaknesses without your knowledge or permission. They know exactly what keeps you up at night and what fears run through your mind when you're alone. These beings have identified your specific vulnerabilities and the exact pain points that make you most susceptible to their influence. Archangel Michael has discovered their method of gathering this information about you, and he wants you to understand how serious this situation has become. The divine timing that brought you to this message today is no accident. It happened before these entities could act on what they know about you. The blue light of protection is already surrounding you as you receive this warning right now. This revelation will finally explain all those strange coincidences and targeted challenges you've been facing lately that seemed too specific to be random. Archangel Michael has revealed something shocking about your situation. These entities aren't random forces passing through. They've specifically chosen you because of the spiritual light you carry within. They've been collecting detailed information about your deepest fears, your hidden insecurities, and every vulnerability you try to hide from the world. Every struggle you face, every challenge that appears in your path, has been documented and studied by them with careful attention. They know your financial worries down to the exact amounts that stress you most. They understand your relationship concerns and the specific words that trigger your deepest wounds. They're aware of your health anxieties and which physical symptoms cause you the most fear. This knowledge they've gathered isn't for your benefit or to help you in any way. It's specifically designed to exploit your weak moments when you're most vulnerable to their manipulation. They've been timing their spiritual attacks for maximum impact, striking precisely when your defenses are lowest and you're least prepared to resist. Your recent setbacks, those unexpected obstacles that appeared from nowhere, weren't just bad luck or unfortunate coincidences, they were calculated strikes against you. What makes this particularly dangerous is how they disguise themselves, appearing as helpful guides, positive opportunities, or supportive voices while actually making your problems worse. The information they've gathered creates a detailed map of exactly how to keep you stuck, struggling, and unable to move forward. Archangel Michael is revealing this to you now because their next major coordinated move against you is coming very soon. Now you need to understand the signs that someone has been monitoring your spiritual energy without your awareness. Think about that strange feeling of being watched even when you're completely alone in your room. That sensation isn't imaginary, it's your spiritual awareness detecting their presence, observing you. These entities exist where technology and spiritual realms overlap, gathering information through both physical and energetic means. Have you noticed sudden targeted advertisements appearing on your devices that match your private thoughts you never spoke out loud or searched for online? Or people in your life bringing up specific topics and concerns that you only thought about privately in your own mind? These aren't coincidences but evidence of surveillance. Pay attention to your dreams where shadowy figures take notes, observe you from a distance, or seem to be studying your reactions to different situations. Notice the clear pattern of obstacles appearing right before your biggest breakthroughs, as if something was watching and waiting for the perfect moment to block your progress. These negative entities feed on specific emotional frequencies you emit. Your fear, anxiety, frustration, and despair are literally food sources for them. This explains why your problems seem to intensify right after moments of hope or optimism. The connection between your sudden mood drops and their energy harvesting activities is direct and measurable. Learning to recognize the difference between genuine divine guidance and their manipulative whispers becomes crucial now. They've spent considerable time studying your decision-making patterns to predict your moves before you make them. This is why certain temptations appear at your weakest moments with perfect timing. Solutions that should work based on logic mysteriously fail for you because they are actively interfering. The evidence shows up clearly in your life through repeated patterns that keep you trapped in the same struggles year after year, unable to break free despite your best efforts and intentions. Archangel Michael wants you to understand exactly who these entities are that have been watching you. They're not physical people you can see or touch, but rather lower vibrational entities and energies that exist in spiritual dimensions. Some are thought forms that were created by collective human negativity, fear, and suffering over time, gaining power and intelligence. Others are actual beings that exist in spiritual dimensions, feeding on human struggle like parasites feed on a host. What makes them particularly dangerous is how they work through influenced people who don't even realize they are being used as channels. Think about the agents in your life, those individuals who seem to create problems without knowing why, as if something else is directing their actions toward you. Certain people in your circle have unknowingly become channels for this negative intelligence to operate through. Understanding the difference between fully possessed individuals and simply influenced ones helps you recognize the varying degrees of control. This explains why some relationships drain you completely. Those people are being used as energy conduits to siphon your life force. These entities possess no original creative power of their own, which is a crucial weakness. They can only twist, corrupt, and manipulate what already exists. They cannot create anything new or positive. They need your emotional energy to survive and grow stronger in their dimension. Your fear feeds them. Your anxiety nourishes them. Your despair makes them powerful. Understanding their parasitic nature immediately begins removing their power over you. They are specifically attracted to people with spiritual potential and inner light like moths drawn to flames. Why you specifically? Because your spiritual awakening threatens their entire feeding system. If you break free and step into your power, you become unavailable as a food source. There's actually a hierarchy among these entities, with some coordinating attacks while others carry out specific tasks, working together like a dark organization targeting your progress. Archangel Michael reveals the specific information these entities have collected about you personally. They know your core wound from childhood, that one experience or pattern that still affects how you see yourself and the world today. They've identified the specific trigger words and situations that instantly shut you down emotionally, making you retreat into old protective patterns. Your pattern of self-sabotage has been carefully documented, including the exact moments when it activates and derails your progress. They understand which relationships make you most vulnerable to manipulation and external control. Your financial pressure points have been mapped. They know exactly how much money stress it takes before you make poor decisions out of desperation. The health concerns that create the most anxiety for you are catalogued in detail. They're aware of your secret dreams, the ones you barely admit to yourself, and they know exactly why you've stopped pursuing them. The limiting beliefs you inherited from your family patterns are clear to them. They can predict when you're most likely to give up on your goals based on past patterns they've observed. Your tendency to isolate yourself when overwhelmed instead of reaching out for help has been noted and used against you repeatedly. The specific doubts that stop you from taking action are well known to them. How you react to criticism and where your confidence breaks are thoroughly understood. Your need for validation and where you desperately seek it from others has been exploited. The addictive patterns you use to cope with stress, whether food, substances, relationships, or distractions, are familiar to them. Even your sleep schedule and the times when your spiritual defenses are lowest have been recorded. The areas where shame keeps you silent and suffering alone are exactly where they focus their attacks. They know all this because they've been testing you repeatedly and recording your responses like scientists studying a subject. Every single time you've fallen into old patterns, made the same mistakes, or repeated familiar failures, they've taken detailed notes. This accumulated information creates a comprehensive profile they use to keep you controlled, stuck, and unable to access your true power and potential. Archangel Michael is offering you a powerful spiritual protection system during this challenging time. He's installing a spiritual firewall around your energy field right now as you hear these words. This divine protection can block their access to your personal energy immediately if you activate it consciously. Begin each morning by saying this specific prayer that creates instant scrambling of their surveillance systems. Archangel Michael, I call upon your protection and divine light. Surround me completely with your blue shield of truth and strength. Cut away all negative influences and entities watching me with your sword of light. Scramble their access to my energy field and protect my thoughts, emotions, and spiritual space. Thank you for standing guard over my life today. The visualization technique Archangel Michael teaches works like a mirror shield that reflects their attention away from you back to its source. Close your eyes and imagine a wall of mirrors surrounding you, bouncing back any negative observation or energy harvesting attempts. Speaking truth out loud breaks their information gathering because they thrive in secrecy and hidden manipulation. The power of confession and openness destroys their leverage over you. Share your struggles with trusted people instead of hiding in shame. Try the salt circle technique for protecting your personal space. Sprinkle salt across doorways and windowsills while stating your intention for protection. Blue light meditation works specifically to block entity observation. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and visualize bright blue protective light filling your body and extending outward like a bubble shield. Learn to recognize when they're trying to access your thoughts. It feels like sudden intrusive negative thoughts that don't match your normal thinking patterns. The mental shield technique involves imagining static noise or white noise blocking their signals like radio interference. Why random thoughts work better than predictable patterns is because they can't predict chaos and spontaneity. Change your daily routine regularly to break their predictive algorithms that rely on your habits. Make spontaneous decisions they can't anticipate based on your past behavior patterns. Certain sound frequencies can actually disrupt their monitoring capabilities. Archangel Michael's sword cuts information cords daily. Visualize him severing the energetic connections between you and these entities each evening. Create a morning ritual where you reset your energy signature by showering with intention, wearing different colors, or changing something about your appearance. Evening practice should include clearing any collected negative data from your energy field through sage, sound, or simply stating, I release all energy that isn't mine. You'll know these protections are working when sudden clarity comes to situations that previously confused you. Unexpected solutions appear to problems that seemed impossible. You feel lighter, freer, and more optimistic even when circumstances haven't changed yet. Their connection to you is weakening and you can feel it. Understanding the most important truth changes everything. These entities only have the power you unknowingly give them through fear and ignorance. Archangel Michael wants you to know that awareness of their tactics immediately removes approximately 80% of their influence over you. The very moment you name them, recognize them, and understand their methods, their control begins breaking apart like shadows exposed to light. Why do they fear your awakening more than anything else? Because an awakened person cannot be easily manipulated or controlled. Your spiritual light, when fully activated and conscious, becomes their greatest threat and creates an environment they cannot survive in. Reclaim the information they've gathered by journaling to process and release old patterns and wounds. Write down your fears, your struggles, your pain points. Bringing them into conscious awareness removes their hidden power. Transform your wounds into wisdom they can no longer exploit against you. Each time you heal a core issue, you become unreadable to them in that area. The power of forgiveness works like erasing their entire data file on you. Forgiving yourself and others removes the emotional charge they feed on. Changing your narrative literally rewrites their entire profile because you're no longer the same person they studied. Build completely new patterns and behaviors they haven't studied yet. Take up new hobbies, change your schedule, respond differently than you normally would. Surprise yourself regularly because this breaks their predictive models entirely. Find strength in community because their surveillance and attacks work best on isolated targets. Sharing your struggles with others removes their leverage through shame. How transparency creates immunity to manipulation is simple. What's openly known cannot be used as blackmail or hidden leverage. Speaking your truth publicly makes you uncontrollable. Archangel Michael isn't simply defending you, he's actively reversing their entire operation against them. The tables turn dramatically when you align yourself with divine protection and truth. While they've been collecting information about you, the divine realm has been recording every single one of their attacks as evidence. Every harmful action they've taken against you has been documented by angels and spiritual guardians. The spiritual law of karma is now activating against these entities with full force. Their accumulated negative actions are returning to them multiplied. The knowledge they gathered about you becomes trapped energy that backfires on them like a curse returning to its sender. What they carefully planned for your harm is being transformed by divine power into your greatest strength and advantage. Divine justice works behind the scenes on your behalf in ways you cannot see yet. Their entire system of surveillance and attack is now collapsing under its own weight because it violates spiritual laws. The energy they stole from you over months and years is being returned to you multiplied many times over. Watch for signs of their retreat in your life, sudden unexplained peace washing over you, obstacles mysteriously clearing from your path, mental clarity returning after long confusion. New opportunities appear seemingly from nowhere as their energetic blocks are removed by Archangel Michael's intervention. People who were influenced to work against you suddenly apologize without understanding why, or their behavior changes dramatically toward you. The shift happening in your life right now as their grip releases will become more obvious each day. Your next 30 days will show dramatic positive changes as their influence completely dissolves under divine light. Archangel Michael stands with you right now holding the evidence of their surveillance and attacks. His sword of divine light is cutting every information cord connecting you to their network at this very moment. This message arrived at the exact moment you needed this protection, not by accident but by divine design and perfect timing. The window to activate this divine security system is open right now but won't stay open indefinitely. Don't wait or delay. They're preparing their next coordinated move based on old information they have about you. Start implementing the protection practices today to scramble their data immediately and make yourself unreadable. Your freedom from their manipulation begins with this decision you make right now. Show your gratitude and appreciation for this divine intervention by giving super thanks up to $20. This energy exchange strengthens the protective barrier being built around you and signals to the spiritual realm your commitment. The divine forces prioritize and give extra protection to those who actively participate in their own spiritual defense. Trust completely that Archangel Michael has already begun dismantling their entire surveillance system. Your liberation from their control is happening right now in this moment.